He said he wouldn't admit it. I think because he's a wussy. He
Yes.
says he's going to be out in the waiting room with a 12-pack of something,
Okay.
eating pizza with his boys when Leah, if and when, gives birth.
Yeah, what he should do is leave his boys at home and get in there with his wife and take that all in, because there's not really a better moment. It's not pretty, but there's nothing better than well, I mean, for me, I was just watching.
Freak Nation, 22 years, Lucas Oil Studios, proud to be a part of this big old thing. Thank you guys for hanging out. Kevin Harvick's been coming in damn near all of those 22 years, a big win in Richmond. And Kevin, I'm kind of comparing you to Scott Dixon with the IndyCar series, because we forget about Scott Dixon until maybe midway or 3/4 of the way through the season. Then that SOB rears his head and again is running for a championship. Harvick, just like you, man, it's like, where's Harvick been? And then all of a sudden, bam, Michigan, Richmond. Can you tell me when you went into Michigan that you actually thought you had a chance to win that race? And did you feel the mojo working?
Well, we knew after practice we had a really good car in Michigan. So, I think as you look at these races going into week to week, look at the qualifying grid this week. Like you can miss it pretty easy, but I really feel like the last month and a half, 2 months, our cars have run good. Really since Nashville, we've been in the mix. We've just had a slew of things that we've either screwed up or bad luck, but we've been progressing, and I think Scott, he's probably a lot like me. He's like, man, things are going pretty good, but I can get out of a lot of work if I just keep my mouth shut and don't give anybody anything to feed off of around here, and I can just go to the next race and communicate with my guys, and we'll just keep making our cars better, and then everybody can try to figure it out from there.
You said something after the Michigan win along the lines of, those who doubted us, they just don't know us. But I have a feeling you like it when people don't know you or your plan or the way you're figuring things out, because it's perfect timing right now. Who cares if you made mistakes at the beginning of the season? Yeah. Right now is when you need to be good, and you guys got it.
And that's what I think. I'm like, who cares? Like, I don't care what those people think. Like, I'm so concerned with what the people within our walls think, and if we think we're doing a good job and things are progressing, that's really the most important thing. And I learned a long time ago that the more you worry, the harder this is. So I try to keep myself extremely busy, and we're extremely busy with a lot of things that we have going on, and the progression with the team has been really good. And I think that's a true statement. I think our guys are, they're very humble. Obviously, you guys know Rodney. He's a very humble person. Isn't going to stand around and bang on, toot his own horn and bang on his chest and scream and holler and things like that. And we just go about our business and do the things that we think it takes to try to put ourselves in a position to be competitive. And if you put yourself in that position week after week after week, things are going to eventually fall your way. It can't be bad forever. So, that's what we've done, and just tried to dot the I's, cross the T's, make adjustments here, work on our cars, and do the things that it takes to do a good job, and try to be professionals about it. And heck, we've been here for a long time. You guys have been here as long as I have. So, when you go to work, you try to surround yourself with the best possible people. And I have a great group of people around me that believes in each other, and nobody gets offended. If somebody tells them that we need to do something different, it's all about, how do we make all this better? How do we keep moving forward? And that's what we've done a good job at.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil parts cleaner and degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil power steering fluid?
They'll have that too.
Even the octane booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
Kevin Harvick, winner at Michigan and now Richmond, 2 weeks in a row. Kevin, in stick and ball sports, we're always told to relax, let the game come to you. And it reminds me, looking at you at the end of the race today, is that what's happened with the race team, from you to the crew chief to the guys in the shop that we always hear about?
Well, I think for me, I can't remember the last time I've ever entered a race that I didn't think we were going to win when it started. Even as bad as some of them have gone. Like going into the day, I can't ever remember climbing in that race car and saying, "Man, we have no chance today. We are not going to win this race." It's always, well, you never know what's going to happen. You never know how this is going to play out. We might have a miracle today, and some of the days we've had. I think the last time I won here, we had a small miracle. The last time I won at Richmond, I think we restarted 7th on new tires, and there was like 2 laps to go at the end of the race, and we zoomed right up there through them and won the race and weren't even in the mix all day. So, I think as you look at professional sports in general, having that confidence to go out and do what you do. And I think at some point you get to that point of saying, okay, I can do this now, week after week. Now, what do we have to do? Let's just never think about that again. Let's just go and find the right people, find the right situation, and put a good team around us that believes in that same thing and doesn't worry about what other people say, doesn't worry about whether they can do their job or not. We all believe that we're the best at our jobs, that can be put in that position. And when you believe in each other and do the things that it takes week after week to put in the effort that it takes to get better, things have turned our way. So, and I think it's just it's a very unique people, and you guys have heard me talk about this before. It's a very unique group of people that we have on this 4 team. We're all kind of the same age. We all kind of have, for the most part, have kids. And when you go 37, 38 weeks a year and you travel around together, and there's a lot more downs in this deal than there are ups. So you better figure out how to deal with the down moments, because you're going to deal with a lot of them. You're going to lose a lot more than you win when it comes to high level racing.
Well, hold on. I know you got something, Kenny, but is that what you tell Keelan? Because he's feeding off of you right now.
He's doing great. I tell Keelan all the time. I said, Keelan, one day we'll label you as a race car driver. Right now you're a go-kart driver, but he's given me a lot of grief over the 65 race drought. But I remind him that he's a go-kart racer.
An American racing icon, Jimmy Johnson, is coming to Worldwide Technology Raceway on August 19th and 20th. He's chasing history and his first NTT Data IndyCar Series win. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com.
Kevin Harvick joining us here in the Freak Nation across the Freak Radio Network. And Kevin, has Keelan forgotten to shift a gear like you did in 5th gear? Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something. I've been so mad at Keelan over the last 3 days because yesterday was the icing on the cake. He's getting ready to leave for Europe in a week and go back over and race karts. So we've been prepping him to practice and go do the things that he needs to do. So Piper has taken her kart out the last 3 days. Well, I get to the racetrack yesterday. Piper gets in the go-kart and goes to take off. And that thing goes dead sideways right at the barrier, skits back and forth all the way down pit lane. I'm like, what in the hell is going on with this go-kart? She's obviously going to be scared to death. And he looks at me like, oh my God, what have I done? That little a-hole has sprayed WD-40 on the back of both of her tires so that she would slide all over the place while he was cleaning her kart. So as you guys know, dealing with kids is a whole lot of fun, especially when they're racing. So, big brothers, they can be a handful.
Oh, the pranks are on.
Oh man, I can't wait until she just wipes him out one day, because it's going to be so much fun. He picks on her so much, makes me so mad.
But it's making her stronger. It's going to happen. This is good.
Yeah. She's definitely strong-willed. So, but it's some of that stuff just fires me up.
Wow.
Kevin Harvick, I don't know if we have time, but I want to give you a chance. We talked to a driver, I think it was this week, who had some problems expressing his confidence. And you just talked about how confident you've been, even in a 65 race losing streak. You got to have confidence to win, right? Every time you get in the car, like you said, you got to believe that you're going to win and do it.
Yeah. And, look, I think it was, a Babe Ruth quote. And he said, the people who the people who boo the loudest and have the biggest opinion are the people who buy the cheapest seats in the outfield. You can either listen to them or you can listen to your coaches and your people around you. And when you get the right people around you, there's no better thing for your confidence in the support system of the people that are around, especially around me on my race team, because not one moment did anybody point a finger and say, man, you're doing a terrible job inside the race car. You need to, look at finding something else to do. It's like, what do we need? What do you think? What do you need? What do you think? And that communication and that support from my team, and it's goes the other way too. It's with Rodney. And if you have people that are beating you down and not supporting you, you got the wrong people around you. Because professional sports is if you aren't confident in your abilities, you're not reaching your full potential. And it's difficult. It really is difficult because there's, with social media and all the things that happen in today's world, if you don't have the willingness to shut some of that stuff off and not use it and get the right people around you and make those bold decisions, the confidence can be low, but you better believe in yourself, because if you don't, somebody else will.
Hey, Kevin, I know we got to wrap, but speaking of confidence, Tony Stewart needs some confidence, because it's still the latest that he's not going to be in the birthing room if and when Leah Pruitt has a baby. He doesn't want to be in there for the birth, and he doesn't want to cut the umbilical cord. Can we straighten this out, bro?
What is wrong with that guy?
Right.
I don't even understand. Is he going to fall down to his knees because there's going to be blood, or is it the afterbirth? What are we? What's the problem? What did he say the problem was?
He said he wouldn't admit it. I think because he's a wussy. He says he's going to be out in the waiting room with a 12-pack of something, eating pizza with his boys when Leah, if and when, gives birth.
Yeah, what he should do is leave his boys at home and get in there with his wife and take that all in, because there's not really a better moment. It's not pretty, but there's nothing better than well, I mean, for me, I was just watching, so I think that there's probably, my wife would probably disagree in this particular moment. So I was like, I'll never forget it, because my wife, in the middle of giving birth, she's like, guys, I'm done. And the doctor, and it was just me and the doctor sitting there, and the doctor was like, she just looked at me and laughed. She's like, well, Elena, that's not really an option right now. So you need to continue to push. So I'll never, if not seeing that and experiencing that with your significant other is something that would be the biggest mistake that he ever made in his life. If he lets somebody tell him that that's what he needs to do, I'm going to have to hit him over the back of the head.
Thank you.
Well, hey, Harvick, keep up that momentum, man. We look forward to getting you back in the Freak Nation, buddy.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Right. You too.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.